But final results of the voting indicate that it was a contest between the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party. APC won in 20 out of the 23 local government areas, while the PDP secured 3. In Rivers State, this is the biggest council election victory by a political platform different from the one on which the governor was elected.
The chairman-elect for Ikwere local government is Wobodo Charles. Wobodo Charles is the chairman-elect for Ikwere local government. He obtained 62,746 votes, 62,746 votes. The vice chairman-elect for that LGA is Kinika Ethel Chidi. Kinika Ethel Chidi is the vice chairman-elect for Ikwere local government, both of whom are of the APC.
Some observers who monitored the election say it was smooth, peaceful, and a true reflection of how the electorate voted. They, however, noted peculiarities of the exercise, which took place under a state of emergency.
For political parties, for stakeholders, for citizens to be adequately prepared. So the Electoral Act said minimum 150 days. But that hasn't happened in this case because we are within a state of emergency. So what has happened is an interventionist effort, to make sure that there is no vacuum at the local government level by the time our beloved governor does return.
With the election concluded, demands for the restoration of democratic governance in Rivers State is gaining momentum.
I must add that there will be no justification for a continued stay of the present system, because the grounds, the premise on which we have been forced as a people to endure this last, going to be 6 months in a couple of weeks, was that there was disorder. Now there is peace in Rivers State, and yesterday signaled to Nigerians and the entire world that Rivers people have been able to get past some of its worst days.
The Electoral Commission says certificates of return will be presented to the elected officials. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
Well, joining me now for more perspective on this is the chairman of Progressives Congress, Rivers State, Tony Okocha. Good to have you on the news at this time. So we understand this is the first time since 1999 that the APC has, secured dominance in Rivers State. Tell us now, what really changed this time?
Okay, thank you for having me. The truth of the matter is that there was a vision, there was a mission that was laced with hard work. In fact, I wasn't surprised when out of 23 LGAs we were able to clinch 20 local government areas clean, landslide victory. It's been about leadership at some point. The leadership of our party at some point was very deficient. And it was the reason why in 2023, under the leadership of the chairmanship of Ganduje, the ESCO that was, in existence then was dissolved. And we were appointed as caretaker committee members, 7 of us. And as soon as we mounted the rostrum, we told our people that we would take APC away from the dungeon, the political dungeon that we found ourselves, that APC became just a social club and was not a political party for anybody, to provide avenue for anybody to run election. And so that had driven us into going to the fields, going to the hinterlands, going to the nooks and crannies of our state to comb people to become members of the All Progressives Congress. And like I said, our hard work has been laced with victory.
Right.
So that's what has changed, yes.
Right. So, but some people would say that the results were decided even before the elections day. How would you respond to that allegation?
Well, of course, it is typical of anybody who would have contested election or who contested election and failed to begin to make allegations. How would anybody even contemplate that? Elections were announced and parties fielded candidates. And, I think too that the only person or the only group of persons that may attempt to qualify to speak about or speak on the election will be those who contested the election. How come anybody is imagining that election results were already arranged and all those? They're not correct. Blatant lies.
And to further add to this, there is this belief now that the godfathers right now are the ones that decided the elections, not the voters. So but what do you say about these concerns?
No, it's also not correct. I wish you have a clip or you had their people on the field yesterday. At least they would have been able to show you the clips of voting in LGAs and units. Okay? People came out in their large numbers. People have been longing to have a genuine local government election. You recall that the other one was the one in 2024 was declared null and void, okay, and that it went to no issues by the Supreme Court. And so people have been longing to election for into the local government councils, which of course, as soon as the opportunity came, they decided to, harness the opportunities. The truth again, I must tell you, is that just ask your correspondents who went to the fields and the local governments what they saw practically. It's not for anybody to sit down in this parlor, maybe over a bottle of Coke, and begin to think, conclude that X, Y, Z happened. No, there's no godfather who decided what. People voted. And
right.
What you saw, a raw election, that is votes that you saw from human beings, Rivers people, who live here and do business in River State.
And I'm sure what is more important now is for development to take place in River State.
Yes.
Of course, we can't take more conversations on this matter, but thank you so much, Chairman of the All Progressives Congress in River State, Tony Okocha. We appreciate your insights on the news at 10.